Hello, my name is Sounak Chakrabarti, and I'm a senior studying mechanical engineering at Virginia Tech.
Hi, I'm Hannah Thielman. I'm a sophomore studying computational modeling and data analytics, also at Virginia Tech.
We have been working on our research project under the guidance of our mentor, Dr. Mueller, and the assistance of our PhD student, Yihao Hu, at the Bio-Inspired Science and Technology Center of Virginia Tech. The end objective for our research is to create a digital model that will replicate a bat's flight patterns. As you can see in this image, the bat's flight can be very complex as they maneuver around. Capturing this pattern and subsequently making a model that can accurately imitate that pattern is our ultimate goal. In order to achieve this goal, we have broken up our project into 4 specific aims: building a flight tunnel with an array of 50 high-speed video cameras, obtaining a data acquisition/storage system, processing our video data with image segmentation, and tracking landmark features on bats. The camera tunnel array, when completed and tested, will be shipped over to Brunei, in the island of Borneo, where there are at least 100 different bat species to obtain data from.
The camera tunnel array is basically what it sounds like. It was previously designed in SolidWorks by a design team for their senior project. It will be made to support the full load of 50 high-speed cameras and 40 industrial filming lights. The structure is broken down into 8 panels for ease of assembly and camera access. It consists of 1-inch outer diameter steel bars and steel pipe connectors that can be bought from mcmaster.com. When it's assembled all together, it will form the shape of a tunnel, hence the name. This figure here shows a full CAD rendering of the complete structure, this with the lights and this one with just the cameras. This array will provide a no privacy zone for us for the bat to fly through, so we can capture its flight from all angles, and the rest of the project will be focused on processing the images that we'll obtain from this array.
The array will output hundreds of thousands of images. This much data will require a data storage system that can both handle that much data and handle the processing it will go through. Alongside this, we will have a dedicated network, switches, and NAS servers to hold the data. Connecting the cameras together for synchronization, triggering, and data transfer requires the use of 3 connectors on the side of the camera, shown in the figure. Additionally, each camera will require its own power source, around 17 to 20 volts and 40 watts. Trigger I/O port 1 is a BNC female connector. This port will be used for synchronization of the camera frames. For the recording, there is somewhere between 650 to 959 microseconds between each frame. Trigger I/O port 2 is an 8-pin terminal block connector. Only 2 pins are needed to initiate recording, a COM pin and a TRG2 port. In the figure, a terminal block has a bare wire to female BNC connector attached to it. This basically converts I/O2 into another BNC connector to simplify connections. Using BNC-Ts and cables, a single ring of cameras can be connected together. The trigger I/O1s for a single ring of cameras can run off a single port on the line driver. The same would apply to trigger I/O2 ports. The female RJ45 connector on the camera is for data transfer. Each camera will produce 16 GB of video for each 8-second recording. Once this system is established, a standard Cat5 cable can be connected to the camera and then to the switcher for each camera. The switcher can then be connected to the centralized server using a 10 Gbps copper cable. This way, all the data is stored in a single location. Finally, power is considered. Using the specified line driver, each camera could be connected using a simple cable with the correct plugs on each end, as the line driver converts to the correct voltage in amperage. This trigger power configuration was tested fully by a team in Brunei, and it was successful.
We will attempt to track the landmarks on the bat using transfer learning and a toolbox called Deep Lab Cut, which allows for researchers to conduct high-throughput video analysis and train a ResNet. The transfer learning method itself uses a network trained by a large supervised dataset, so it can be developed towards a specific task with a smaller supervised dataset. Essentially, a model or part of a model for task A is reused and applied to task B. The ResNet we will be using is a deep neural network called ImageNet, an image database for object recognition.
After the image segmentation steps for extracting the bat from the background, we will stitch back the frames into a video to be inputted into DeepLab Cut, where the landmarks on the bat's wings and body will be manually labeled frame by frame for pose estimation. The small dataset of labeled frames will be used to further train feature detectors that were pre-trained on a ResNet. For our model, we will use the feature detectors of the network to predict landmarks and recreate a 3D reconstruction of the bat's kinematics. This 3D model will be instrumental in understanding how bats are capable of their high maneuverability. The knowledge gained from this project may also be used to create a live, physical model based upon the aerodynamics of the bat wing. Recently, we were able to use the raw bat video data from Brunei, and we got very promising results, as shown in Figure 4. The model that we trained for 30,000 iterations was able to predict most of the landmarks on the bat. Moreover, we were able to plot the loss function versus training iterations, and we found that the graph converged reasonably well. Since there were no spikes in the convergence behavior of the graph, we were confident that the ResNet was trained properly.
We plan to get the assembly of the array and the testing of the acquisition system done by mid-December. Research on image segmentation methods to produce binary masks using deep convolutional neural network architectures is an ongoing process which will take the next month to complete. Tracking the landmark features of bats will be completed around a week after the collection of our data. The schedule in our poster summarizes our tentative research timeline. In all, this presentation encapsulates our research plan for this project along with expected results. In the future, we plan to incorporate these methods on the data acquired from the fully built camera array. Please let us know if you have any additional questions. You can contact me, Sounak, or our mentor, Dr. Mueller, for specific questions. Thank you.
Thank you.